How can you make $15 by canceling a ride? Let's talk about it. Good morning, everybody. Mark here from UberHints. And before we get started, I want to lead off with a personal message. Now, if you're not interested in hearing what I have to say, go down in our description and click the link and you can jump straight to the content. But there is something I want to talk about briefly before we get into the Uber content. As many of you know, if you saw my very short live stream message, my mother passed away Sunday morning, and it disrupted a flight. I was traveling to Reno. I found out when I got to Denver, I had to readjust my my flight plan, come back home. And at that point, I announced to a lot of you that I might be away from the channel for a while. And first off, what I found out is I just have to keep occupied. We all grieve in different ways, and I just can't sit around. I did have plans this morning to go over with my sister and go through my mother's things, which I'm sure is going to be bittersweet. And got a call this morning, and my sister canceled. She got a migraine. I wonder why. A lot of pressure, right? So I'm not just going to sit around. I have to kind of keep active and keep doing things. So I thought I would come to all of you and make a video this morning. The second thing I wanted to talk about is to say thank you for all of the condolences and the well wishes I received from all of you. Although I can't reply personally, I do read them all. I try to put the heart next to all of them as much as I can. Sometimes I'm sure I miss or the computer doesn't get it. But I have read them all, and I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. It does mean a lot to me. And things like that do help to carry us through some rough times. I also the concept was reinforced in my mind that I already knew, but empathy and compassion and understanding comes in all shapes and sizes and colors and religions. And I just think the community that we have here on this channel is just so powerful for me. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And finally, the last thing, I don't know what kind of cretins and trolls and just people who must be just heartless, people without a soul that are out there. I made a short video just to let you know that my mother passed, and 7 people gave it a thumbs down. I have no idea what lives inside a person that does that. I think we all have an idea where that might be coming from. But, you know, I suspect they're just trolls, people that didn't even bother to watch a video. They just sent a message to my viewers and decided to give it a thumbs down. You know, I'm not going to let that affect me because, you know me, I don't let other people influence me, my emotions, my actions, my thoughts. You know, that is their problem. If they are that dark in their soul that they would give a thumbs down to that kind of a message. So once we got past that, I do want to get to the topic, and this is not clickbait. This is real. I got a message from one of our viewers. Now, you know I don't like to share information, so I'll just go with the first name, Bart. Thank you, Bart, for sending me this. And we have been going back and forth with the whole driving unaccompanied minors issue. And you know where I land? As a rule, I do not take unaccompanied minors. However, I just got through talking about compassion and empathy and understanding. There might be some times when I may have an exception to that rule. But for the most part, I'm not going to take unaccompanied minors. It's just too risky. Not just the risk of getting kicked off the platform, but legal risks, risks of accusations. And I don't want to deal with all that, and I don't think any of us should. But with that in mind, we all have to make our own decisions, right? So this leads to the story. I got this email, and I thought that it was fascinating because what we did find out about unaccompanied minors is there are many cases in which we can cancel a ride and will not get our cancellation fee. And unaccompanied minors is one of those. If we cancel, and the reason is an unaccompanied minor, Uber will not reimburse. So this email, I think, was really interesting. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to show you some of these screenshots. It says, Uber wants drivers to drive 20 minutes to pick up unaccompanied minors. And you see in the screen here, it says approximately 16 minutes, 7.1 miles. It also says pick up premium likely. So there's a lot of enticement to go and pick up this ride. Now we get there and find out it's an unaccompanied minor. So let me finish with the email. Uber wants drivers to drive 20 minutes to pick up an unaccompanied minor and then for the driver to cancel and get paid nothing. I don't think so. And like I said, especially when they have sort of indicated, hey, you're going to get paid more for this. So we take that long drive and then, we just get stiffed. So here's the strategy. Now, first of all, when I would see this, I did blur a lot of this out. I didn't want to make it too specific, but this person was called to a high school. My alarm is going off. When I see high school, what I'm probably going to do, and this is getting a little off topic, but what I'm probably inclined to do is send a text right away and say, this is Mark, I'm your driver. Uber prohibits us from picking up unaccompanied minors. If you are under 18, please cancel this ride now. Now I'm just coming off with this off the top of my head, but I would send a message of that sort, knowing I'm going to a high school and knowing the majority of people who attend high school are underage, right? Now, if we look at this next one, it says here the rider was notified and Bibiana was the rider here. I'm not going to assume that Bibiana is a minor. Could be a parent that had car trouble. It could be a staff member. We really don't know, but it's likely that Bibiana is a minor because of where we're picking up. So I would send that message. Regardless, let's continue with this email. I asked them if they're 18, and if not, then I asked them to cancel. Now, I didn't say when he does that. I would do that right away because I don't want to drive 15, 20 minutes to find that out. But this is the interesting part. All right? So he drives. He gets to Bibiana. And he finds out Bibiana is underage. If they refuse to cancel, I will sit and wait until an adult shows up or they cancel. So think about this. This is a brilliant strategy. If they want to call another Uber, they're going to have to cancel this ride. And this driver is not creating a fuss. He's not yelling and screaming. He's not canceling and losing the fee. He's not demanding all of the things that we see in these confrontational videos. He's being very calm, logical, explaining the situation, asking for an adult. If an adult comes, I'm happy to wait for you. And if they don't, you'll have to cancel the ride. And he waits. And he waits for them to cancel. And if you see in its next screen, $14.40. And if you look down below, it was a comfort ride, so that accounted for a little bit of that extra dough. It says the time requested, the date. No miles. Why? Cancellation. $14.40 to cancel a ride. And it's because our driver was calm. They thought through the situation. They laid out the options. Hey, here are your options. You can get an adult, and I'll be happy to take you on this ride. Or someone who's 18. I think maybe you have a friend that's 18. Fine. Get them in the car, and their app can take the ride. I wouldn't cancel. I think I'd still make them cancel. But because now what happens if the adult comes and they say, put it on my app. Now what happens? You lose that long distance fee, right? So we got to be careful. But in some situations, maybe I'd say fine. You know, if it was not a long distance ride, I'd say fine. Go ahead, cancel. You request another one, and I'll take you. There are options, right? But I digress just a little bit. The whole point is he laid out the options for them. You can either cancel or get an adult here. What do you want to do? And he puts the ball in their court. It's not a fight. It's not an argument. These are the facts. And in this case, they canceled almost $15 in his bank account. I think great way to handle it. But you may have other suggestions, thoughts, and strategies. So I'm going to ask you to leave those down below, because anything that we do here, you know, some people say, well, we don't have hints at UberHints anymore. Oh, the heck we don't. Most of these hints come from viewers. I mean, this is a channel where we share. So this driver just shared with us. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. As always, please like and share the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my little face in the corner and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mark with UberHints.